morning, everybody. How are we doing today? It's a pleasure to be with you today, for sure. We've been so busy with so many different things going on, and seems like it's been that way all my life, though, in regards to this. Always something going on here. And I hope I find you all well today. I think I did an all-nighter last night, so let's see how well I managed this morning. Just so many things going on. I hope you all are doing well. Everything I hear is always good about everybody, and they're helping everybody, and that's the plan. That's the plan. Everybody just help everybody, and we change this whole thing. I was reading about the chiropractor's wife and the chiropractor of the country, and he showed this video to the chief neurologist of Lithuania. Basically, it sounds like she just blew it off. It's like, oh, you know what? I feel sorry for people in the medical profession that has lost focus of health and life and why they're medical doctors. I think you get lost in that jargon, and pretty soon you believe in the narcissistic attitude of that profession that can't cure anything. If I was all-nighter, I'm telling you. If I was a neurologist, I would come running in here and say, what in the hell did you do? How did you do this? Let's start helping people. But no, they separated themselves as the privileged and the un, I guess. I don't know what their scoop is, but good work, Michael. Good work, all of you guys. I'm telling you, who cares what they think? And that's what you have to get to. Who cares what the medical doctors think? Either they get on board with us, or they'll just wither away because people are running from them because of their issues and how they deal with treatment-based concepts of diseases that hold no water. Okay, this was a cry for help here. Come on, let's everybody help her. She's 27 years old, 5'7", 280 pounds. Her main concern is she's very irregular periods, of course, so want to work on that. Well, again, and here's another clue here, guys. Other concerns are thinning hair and lots of dandruff. So this is a drive right upstairs here, obviously. You got dandruff, so that's the lymph coming out the head instead of being drained down through your kidneys. And isn't it interesting how we see this all the time here? When you start to look at the lymph and you add the kidney and adrenal mixture, and then you start working on the kidneys and adrenals, you start seeing the great improvements that's moving forth through the lymph system. You know there's no doubt about it. And it also helps you to trace where their problems are. Of course, you already know it's a lymphatic problem anyway, but the irregular periods then, of course, that's the pituitary. Could be the ovaries, but in this case, the dandruff, thinning of the hair, that takes us right up into her brain, right to the pituitary. Obviously, the lymph is suppressing her pituitary. Could have been born with some genetics there, no question. Sometimes the cells are just kind of hanging around genetically, not really knowing totally what their job is, basically, and then the lymph comes in and slams them even more because it suppresses the action, the free action and interaction of energetics in a cell, and then this begins to change and morphidize the cell, just like it would anybody else. Without energy, everybody starts morphidizing. So this is going to be your pituitary, honey. Obviously the dandruff, irregular bowel movements one day, sometimes every other. Slight insomnia, we're right back up here again to the pineal gland, which she takes sleeping pills for. Again, we're right up in here. Sounds like you really need to get your head detoxified, your sinuses, your brain. Again, there's going to be a connection to the bowels. Here's the bowels. Remember, I talk a lot about the transverse colon in relationship to the brain. Here's a case where she's not moving her bowels as good as she should, of course. So that's tied together. Well, this is the nervous system again. You're going back to the adrenal glands on top of the kidneys. You're back there always with this. So you've got to I would take a little pituitary glandular to pop that up, and maybe even a pineal glandular at the same time. Honk on those kidneys, the adrenals, the lymphatic system, the GI tract. You're going to find that core, those core areas of the body are always always in every single case where you're going to go. How interesting is it? You could almost put everybody on the same herbal protocol, on the same diet, and I don't care if you're sitting there with cancer in your body, or you've got Lyme's, or you've got fibromyalgia, or you've got diabetes. You could always cure every one of them. That's the simplicity of this, so much so that it is frightening and embarrassing to the intellectual. Good. As of now, I plan to juice grapefruit and oranges for breakfast, grapes and berries for a mid-morning snack, melons and apples for lunch, and parsley, spinach, cucumber, celery, and coconut as a green juice. Oh, okay. I'll also be drinking lemon water throughout the day. Well, all right, I'll tell you what. Start now. Start now. And then take a break for Christmas and then keep on going. Don't wait. Start now. You got it in the mind, but let the mind sift through, put the emotional body, the power. I'm going to do it now and go. I'm extremely focused, then do it now. Don't think about it tomorrow. And would like to get as healthy as I can as quickly as possible. In addition, can you recommend any doctors in Massachusetts? You would have to ask Jennifer or the shipping department. Do you know if Blue Cross Blue Shield HMO covers naturopaths? Doubt it, but not for sure. Probably licensed one somewhere out in California or something. I'd also like to get my amalgam fillings replaced. Can you recommend any dentists? I don't know any dentists in Massachusetts. I know some toxic-free dentists up all around New York and all that, but these guys are high-dollar people. Not worth it. On one side, what do you think of detox foot baths using an ionic bar? Not sure, Rachel. I don't know, honey. I guess I don't have a problem with it, but let's go back to basics. You got a lymph system that's backed up. It's backing up all the cell waste, which are the acids, and you want to take an ionic bar and change all that. Kidneys aren't filtering, your adrenals are down, and you want to take an ionic bar and change that. I don't know. All right, let's see here. What do we got here? Oh, I think she's a new one. 6YAKIRA. Yeah, hi, honey. Goiter. Oh, okay, now this is a good one. I like goiters. I mean, I don't like goiters. How can I shrink my goiter? The doctors say my thyroid function is normal, but I have a goiter. What herbs can I take to shrink goiter? I have thyroid nodule, and I have a biopsy, and it was benign. The doctor wants to remove the thyroid, but I don't want it to have it removed. I work out every day, and I can't see to lose weight. Please help. All right, sweetheart. First of all, I see you in this. If this is you in this picture, first of all, there's your adrenals. You got to work on your adrenals and kidneys. Stay away from starch. Take Parasite M so you don't crave it enough to get the fungus down in you and help that. You have, with the thyroid, a little bit high. Do your basal temperatures under your arms, and let's see what they are. Check both arms through the period of about a week. See what your basal temperatures under your arm is before you get out of bed in the morning. Just take a thermometer by the bedside and then put it under a bare arm before you get out of bed and just check it. A couple mornings, play with each arm, make note which arm and stuff. However, goiters are easy to understand. And if you consider a goiter a formation of a tumor, you got a nodule, same thing. What fluid, what could be happening that could create a goiter or could create a nodule or create a tumor or create a cyst or a boil or a pimple or an at? What is all of these? Where's this coming from? Well, again, your body's only a bunch of cells and two major fluids. Pick one. You're going to be 50% right. So you know this is the lymph system. And you know you're backed up, sweetheart, going back to the kidneys and adrenals. You're fighting obesity more for the adrenals. The thyroid controls rate of metabolism. So in hair analysis, we refer to oxidizers. So if you take a look at those with a little underactive thyroid, then you're going to be a slow oxidizer and vice versa. This goiter is more serious than the weight. You get your weight down, you got to do as much raw as possible. If you need to have some cooked, go ahead, honey, but really put your feet on the path and get going the best you can. You can eat as much as you want. The beauty of raw is you can eat as much as you want, as often as you want. That's the beauty of that, sweetheart. So get on there, move those lymphs. You get that goiter out of there, because removing the thyroid is typical child consciousness of the AMA. You've got lymph backed up. Removing the thyroid does not remove the lymph backed up, and it's going to continue to back up into the head, more throat problems. There's no answer in removing tissue. Fix tissue, and then there's nothing wrong with the thyroid. This is a fluid problem, not a thyroid problem. This is a fluid problem. This is more, if you had to blame anybody, blame your kidneys and adrenals, sweethearts, while you fight the weight more than anything else. Get this goiter out of there. Going to have to get up there and get higher up on the mountain maybe than you can, but do the very best. Take off first with a balance, because you're fighting weight. Take off with a balance. Go down through there. Get rid of the dairies. Get rid of the grains. Grains for you, not a good sign. It's a concrete brick on your head. Any potatoes, get rid of the potatoes. Go as much raw as you can. If you have to have some warm foods, get your steamed vegetables, stir-fried vegetables, maybe a baked sweet potato, something to keep you doing this. And particularly do that at night, where your adrenals are going to give you your emotional run at night. So do all that and you'll be fine. Get this goiter out of you. Don't play around with it. I don't care what medical doctors think. Hey doc, what would you consider a black dot in the iris to be? Well, enigma. I like that. Well, there's a couple kinds. If you have somebody monkey with you with cataract surgery or lens replacement or anything like that, they could damage the eye and make a black spot. There's sore spots, which are spots that really don't know what they are. They genetic spots. Dr. Jensen used to say they're weaknesses in tissue. I've always thought maybe they're, a drug deposit spot from the past or something. So I don't know, exactly what those are. However, the worst case scenario, which you don't want, is if that black is truly in the fibers, then that's degeneration of that tissue. That would mean a very hypoactive state of that tissue. I don't like black holes in the iris. That is a more serious problem within that respective tissue. So send me a picture and I'll let you know there, my friend. But hoping it's just like a sore spot, just a genetic spot. But I don't know. Where is it? And, send me a picture or something. We'll take a look at it. Dr. Morse wanted to ask you about numbers. My whole life has been drawn to the number 7. Cycles of 7. Oh, there's cycles of 3. There's 7. There's 12. I mean, I'm not into numerology anymore. That was years ago. I think pretty much you have to grab creation and realize you're the creator. And numbers and all that, you're above all that. They're influential in the worlds and as the world turns, but if I can pull you guys out of this world and in the highest consciousness possible, you won't care about numbers anymore. Let life in the material worlds manifest and go on. No more you're concerned, because your next life, you want to move away from these lower realms of creation at the very least, and at the very most get way out of creation back home again. But that's all about consciousness and working your way out. That's why you stop creating. That's all about consciousness and working your way out. That's why you stop creating. Because whenever you create, you just created a responsibility, and God takes that pretty seriously. So obviously you have to pay for what you create. So just a natural law, but essential, I guess, to the running of creation. So stop creating things. Just live in the moment and be happy with what things are in that moment. It doesn't matter anymore, because you're preparing yourself for a journey way beyond what most souls at this level can't remember. So you just Get yourself more in the now and play and enjoy in the moment. If you look around, that's what our society, that's what this world is moving souls to, because it is so corrupt on one side. It is so bad. These souls are so lost in the governments. They don't care about the peoples. The rich people, this is so out about. But in that process, it makes the average individual let go and don't care anymore. Now, there's pros and cons to that in terms of running a society, because if you don't stand up and be a participant, then you can't bitch about the outcome. And so there is that process to do without doing, so to speak, to be involved and engaged without being involved and engaged, a detached involvement, so to speak, because you know who you are. You know that this is just setting up the energetics and cycles of tomorrow in terms of creation and for other visitors and things, but in reality, you're the reality, you're the consciousness, and it invokes a certain amount of detachment, disgust, whatever way it takes you down that road of letting go and letting it all just get outside of you. Not always easy to do when it directly is hitting you and affecting you. That's what makes it difficult, is something that's going on over here, you can get involved or not involved, but when it's directly impacting you, then more difficult. But that's the game, isn't it? So I don't know, sevens are, cycles of numbers and stuff. You'll see many cycles of threes, bigger cycles of 12s, and in numerology there's all kinds of things. I really don't get into that. Sorry, honey, but thanks for the question. That's Dano. Yeah, thanks, my friend. Dano, here's another one. Dr. Morse wanted to ask you about, this same one. Love you. Thank you, Sun Consciousness. Love you too. Love your name. Could you recommend an herbal school? I'm thinking Dominion. Dominion is a very good herbal school. Emerson, I think, is better. I like Emerson up there. Really, the tests make you think. So Emerson, Dominion, two very fine. I love Canadian herbal schools. They're probably the best in the world, in my opinion. I do like the Dr. Christopher School. I think they're very good there. You get a few days, I guess, or a week maybe of hands-on. So I do like Dr. Christopher School. I think he's got a worthy degree there for you. So any of those three are good. Some of the Europeans, I've had about 3 schools overseas in the UK and stuff. They're okay. They're good. I keep taking courses. I think Mary Gladstar's course is excellent. I've got it done almost, but I just haven't, finished it up and sent it in. But anywhere you can learn. Your gig is to learn more and more about specific herbs and the ones that you're polarized to and what other people think about them. I like a collage of understanding because it is botanicals. So I like a collage of different schools and their understandings, and as you melt it all together for yourself, then it gets you where you want to be. So I love herbal schools. I think it's the appropriate direction man should be in. I think we should revere and love and honor our herbs because these are our tools. Get rid of these pharmaceutical companies, and maybe one to keep some very important. There are some drugs that are essential to life. We've taken ourselves so far down the road that there are some survival drugs. But as we get healthy, we'll eliminate that need. We can do so much more, even in emergency medicine with herbs and homeopathic. Between herbs, homeopathics, essential oils, flower essences, man, we have a field to die for. This is the field that medical doctors should run to and enjoy because it'll expand their intellect instead of this constipated view of ridiculous diseases. It just serves nobody, and too many people are definitely getting hurt by that. So sun consciousness, yeah. Fourth, Dominion's a little tough though. They're not tough in terms of studying them, but they're tough in terms of exams and stuff. But I do like their consciousness because they feel that when you're pulled into a court of law, you want to be the smart one. And I've always respected that too. Now here's the bottom one that's continued, and I'm not sure. Topic, I'm sorry how this is all messed up here, so let me see. Scars, let me see. Can't get sweet talked into using supplements and all manner of cure-alls, which is sad considering he used to be an expert on fasting and would power fast people to save their lives. Oh, anyway, I'm just getting part of this because I don't see where the rest of this is there, so forgive me for this. I'm sorry. Let me see. I purchased 10 gallons of his burn wound salve for a rainy day, and I have pounds of burdock leaves dried and ready to be heated in water and used for burns and wounds. I saw pictures of his healing, saw one pic of a boy with half his face burned off, 35 days later, new skin, no scars. This is Tropic of No Cancer. Tropic of No Cancer. Are you talking about John Keim here? He said the only two areas you cannot regrow skin are the nose and ear, because there is cartilage there and therefore no bed of skin left to regrow new skin. I don't know about that. Just cartilage, no grafts have to be used there. Always, he is a good guy, selfless, and will be here long. Sad. He will not be here long. Sad. If you're talking about John, I don't know who you're talking about. Maybe, but oh yeah, you must be. Lost the nights in his own burn salve after signing a legal agreement with some I know. I heard about that. Well, John's a good guy. If you're talking about John, which I gather you are, he's a love. He's 87 years old and can't pinch an inch. I was sitting at another friend's in my house there, Willie Krishna, who owns Northern Nutrition there, and I've just been a good friend of Willie's for so many years. We've had a lot of fun together. He comes to our class about every other year. But he's just travels all over the world now, the guy. But he was telling me a lot about this. Kind of sad stuff, you know. But we were sitting in his house one day, and we all wanted to go somewhere. Well, they don't have cars, and I had a van that carried people, so I drove a bunch of us to this place we were going, a restaurant or something, and John says, well, I'll meet you there. And I said, hell, that's miles away. He said, no, I'll cut through all these fields. I'll meet you there. My God, John took off running through these fields, and I mean, it was miles. And I mean, the guy's unreal. Now he's forbidden from making and selling his own creation. Just about every person who has entered into a business agreement with the Amish man has screwed him over. He has lost hundreds of... Well, you know, John's had a full life, and he just can't worry about stuff like that. This is a sad thing, and Willie should have come to me. We would have had John fixed up right on top of the mountain. We don't, I don't live in the world of I screw you, you screw me type of thinking. That doesn't get it at all. That's not how you do life. And these companies that do that, well, I have news for you. If this company is making the salve, they're not making it good enough. So there's ways around everything like that. So now he's forbidden. Let's see, just about every person who has entered into a business. He left Ohio and went to top of the mountain. Yeah, I'm familiar. I've been to his place in Ohio. That's where I met the Amish boy that had the burned arm and the other boy that didn't, that burnt too. And you could see the dramatic difference between the two. But Amish people still come to him. I'm familiar. He's been there, been thousands of Amish people's medical doctor for years. He's just he's funny. His stories are something else, man. John, a good old friend of mine, saw him last year at Willie's when I was up there giving some talks, and John gave a good talk on herbs and had pictures of herbs and stuff like that. Your message seems similar to those introduction in the book, Your Health, Your Choice by Dr. Mortar. Have you read it? I haven't. But, any of us, Sweet 00976, all of us should carry similar ideas about what's going on. I might have a little passionate energy behind mine, but shoot, it's disgusting when you have to sit through so much suffering and deaths that are needless. After a while, it doesn't become funny anymore. It becomes a very serious problem that we have here with our out-of-control medical world, and it's ruining our economics. And so it's just all, it's just all ruined. It's just the nature of this level of greed, but it shows you what not to be. You know, it shows you not to be that way, to be loved, to honor, to respect, to give forth. Someone comes to me with an herbal formula, we help them make it. I'm not going to steal it from them. I mean, that's ridiculous. And poor John, I know. I know this whole story. John's been a personal friend for a long time. I love his brother. Got some good maple syrup water. It really is hard sometimes to stay on the fruit all the time. It is, and don't worry about it. I'm not, don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up here, Daniel. You just do your best. You go in and out, in and out. Nobody's judging anybody. I don't judge anybody. You just go in and out. You do your best. You get everything is. I struggle to get myself back to all fruits again, and it's just, the sad part is none of it's any good anymore here in this country. It's hard. It's hard. I went to buy a bunch of grapes, and I was looking on it, all bitter right now, and it was like, oh man. And the watermelon, I bought 4 alongside the road, even at this late date, and they felt good. They sounded good. I said, oh, these are fresh out of the field. They're seeded. They have seeds in them. I thought, oh, great. First 3, shucked out the back. I got 1 more. So with a little luck, maybe that one watermelon will be good. I didn't cut it this morning. I was too busy to get here, and it was like, oh. I stopped for a while and just ate raw for a while. This second time around has been real challenging. So just play with it, Daniel. Don't worry about it. Just play with it. Keep working. Follow you. And right now, the energy shifted through the winter, so whatever you can do. Take off. Don't beat yourself up. Keep working yourselves through this. Remember, environments change, things change. You shift a little bit, you come back, whatever you can do, you just hit at it. And remember, as practitioners, your clients are going to be the same way. Your clients are not going to be like you. They're not going to carry your enthusiasm. You're lucky when you get one. That's why I'm blessed with all of you guys, because when I talk to you on the phone or you come in, I'm so happy. Because you're happy too. You're just happy people. You're happy with your very spiritual people. I could work I could have a clinic the rest of my life like that. Unfortunately, that's a small percentage of people. A lot of people are hurting. They twist their emotions. They twist their viewpoints and attitudes, and we get a lot of crap here sometimes, or things that are not our fault. Yeah, some lady called me late last night about a young baby. I'm telling you, we're trying to work this baby out of these problems, but major neurological problems, major problems, major. That's a problem with these genetics, major problems. And all on fruit. Baby's been on fruit for a year, this child, and still failing neurologically. And it's like, oh, man, some of these things are tongue twisters because you try the very best you can. Top of the mountain stuff. Other people walk right out of it. Some, they just continue to go downhill. It's like, what about some avocados instead of a salad every once in a while? You betcha. Oh, you betcha. Tear into that, man. Absolutely. Anything like that, Daniel. Anything. Just rip it apart. Whatever. I think intuitiveness is good in this field, because if you're a certain food, you wear out on it, you move, you follow your intuition. There could be some chemistry in another food. That's what's great about not using the mind, but using the consciousness, using the intuitiveness, knowing, oh no, this is what I need now. Oh, this is what I need now. And shifting with that. I think that's a mark of a good spiritual person, that shifts and moves with this, Daniel. So keep it up, my friend. You're doing good. Canadian War Dog God. I wonder if someone with Celtic or gluten sensitivity. Canadian War Dog God. I wonder if someone with Celtic or gluten sensitivity, celiac or gluten sensitivity would react to herbal tinctures made from grain alcohol. No, we have that all the time, man. I felt my colitis symptoms returning from the tinctures. Oh, wow. I was taking from my local health food store. I've never seen that with us, because we have a plan, and we use the Stomach and Bowel #1 or any one of those, which helps to buffer all that as well. So I think the way we put our program together, I think you're not going to experience that. I know we haven't had really any complaints about that, to tell you the truth. But if you have colitis there, again, remember, in the wall type of thing, so move your lymph, get the kidneys filtering, adrenals up, of course, get that lymph moving, because this is going to be in the wall syndrome. At the same time, clean the wall off. You can use the heal all capsules, the stomach and bowel capsules. Most of you see marshmallow slip around, very gentle, very soft on the tissue, very healing, anti-inflammatory sort of things. But remember, this is acidosis. These are roaring acids. You're going to find the problem in your wall, burning through the wall, probably not fun. Get that lymph moving. This is an internal problem, my friend, to get that lymph moving. Get your kidneys and your adrenals up. Get that connection, and really get up there and work on that and get this colitis out of there. I took a kidney, adrenal, and antifungal formula and wasn't sure if I was detoxifying heavily or aggravating my gut with grain alcohol. Well, you could buffer it with some teas and marshmallow slip around tea, mullein tea, even chamomile might do a little bit of that. Making some teas to be safe. But the tinctures shouldn't. I've never had that problem. We've had roaring GI tract cancers, colitis, enteritis, Crohn. I use all of them on the same people. Never had any problems. That's that health food store stuff. Dano, I guess this pain means things are starting to loosen up. It's possible when you loosen up these highly constipated areas of acidosis. Yeah, I've seen more pain in places where you'd think it would take it out. I've seen more pain developing in certain places, especially with chronic arthritis and stuff. Hey, honey, this is low L-I-T-A, low litiglitter. Dano, I have a nut intolerance. Yeah, nuts. Yeah, that's why I like to get rid of all the proteins away for a while. It's really contrary to most species. Intolerance and have intense flare-ups with nuts, absolutely, but the vegetables seem to treat me okay. Yeah, you may be right, though. I really believe that the simpler we eat, the better. You know what it is? I guarantee you, the simpler you eat, the better you feel. I guarantee it. This idea of more's better, we in America particularly, more's better, fat's better. No, I was raised in a family, fat's better. And it's like, no, those fat people die early. I really believe that the simpler we, take care and may heal soon. Good, you guys keep working with each other. I love it. You guys are great people. Magical Hummingbird, the answer is within you. Love your name. I love that. The answer is within you, absolutely. Or is it? Is the answer inside of you? Wait a minute, is the answer outside of you? Well, where are you if you're looking in, or where are you if you're looking out? Actually, it is all about you. There is no in, and there is no out. Not in consciousness. In creation, there is always duality. There's always the in, and there's always the out. So, if you're looking for God inwardly, you might find it. If you look for God outwardly, you might find it. But in reality, there is an old saying too that goes along with that, is that you have to go within to get out. Yeah, all these things, but remember, you're the living reality. You don't have to go anywhere. You are already present and accounted for, and there's nowhere for you to go outside of that. When you chop off the thoughts and the desires and that, then you start becoming and blooming that full consciousness, and then you start expanding, and it's like, woohoo! Wait a minute, too fast. The answer is within you. I love your name. But the only way to obtain these things is if humans feed them to horses. Horses. You a horse lover? Horses do not have the physiological tools to obtain apples, and I know, so they have to chew on the grass. But give them an apple and a carrot in their natural environment without interference from humans. Horses always chose to graze on a patch of grass, legumes, and wheat. You will never see a horse digging for carrots. Yeah, no kidding. Horses are herbivores by design. Feeding a perfectly healthy horse an occasional apple is fine. Imagine. Well, I've detoxified a lot of horses. We raised them. But feeding a horse, what about feeding a horse other horses? What about all these horses out west? We just corral them up and kill them and grind them up and give their meat to the other horses there for food. That's what they did with the cattle. I mean, where does that ignorance come from? I'd sure like to know who started that concept. Who's the ignorant son of a gun that decided that maybe we should grind up animals and feed them back to animals that do not eat other animals? I think that is... this person is highly constipated, needs to have several colonics and go to the meditation den for a while. Because now we've got some very sick cattle from eating rotten meat that their GI tract is way too involved to deal with. There's no way. They'd be the least animal you'd feed meat to. I have frozen berries and cherry in my smoothies every morning. Aha! And they are great. I think that frozen fruit will sometimes be better. Well, you can get them sometimes riper, and definitely you can get them organic. I have to say, my friend German, that you were right on. I do like that myself. Keeps your smoothie also a little cooled. I'm so hot. I run hot. And so I like to cool down with cool drinks. I used to just drink temperature, just regular skin temperature, basically water. But I'm way too hot. I like to cool down a little bit. Topic of no cancer. Tropic. Same thing. I think I was just the best one down. Karma of past lives makes sense to me. In my own life, I can see things that have never occurred to me suddenly appear in my... Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense. The thought of soul coming down here for 60, 70, 80 years to this level, creating all kinds of havoc or doing all kinds of things and just turning around, walking away and going back to heaven. Never did cut much paper with me. But you have come down to the sun. This has given me more time to be aware and open to other people. Have been a type A and very close to others for a long time. I have to admit I see progress, my health and well-being. Got to get you a picture of my eyes. Yeah, give me a picture, Daniel. Well, you got to work for these things, and I think that's what I love about you guys. You know you got to work for them. You're working for them. Yeah, you're carrying down the road. I just love all of you guys. I just am. I'm so happy. I've never regretted a minute of opening up this YouTube channel to help all of you and myself. It helps me too. So much easier to talk to someone that already has knowledge here. It just makes my life so much easier. It's just now a chore to have to sit and go over these same things with people when we should be savvy already on these things. So it's hats off to 124 days! 124 days. Damn, did they do it? 124 days! My God! I need to put it all on the wall here. I'm so happy to be enlightened, but also so frustrated with the state of medicine. When I have a hernia at 20 years old, why didn't my docs talk to me about how and why it happened? Well, because I don't think they really think about the hows and the whys, and they really tear it apart like that. But maybe, I don't know, then give me advice on how to prevent it and release the issues. Well, we're more thorough. We're more thorough with the body, how the body works, how the chemistry interacts in the body. You have to admit, naturopathy is so much more advanced than allopathy in every way, shape, or form. It's not even funny. They'd love to see us disappear because then it would allow this machine operating on one flat tire go forth and then just rape the people of all their money and everything else, and pretty soon we have what we have, forced health care, and then you can't afford that, so they take it out of your income tax. That's what they're doing with Mitt Romney's state, forcing it out of their tax refund money. They'll take it if you don't pay it. I mean, this is I understand now that my health is my responsibility. Balance Beauty blog. You couldn't have said it more aptly. I'm telling you, you have got it, sweetheart. Male or female, I don't know. I call you sweetheart anyway. You got it. That's right. It's your responsibility, but you got a lot of friends to help you. Isn't that neat? We're all friends. We can help each other. That's what's so cool about this. Hey, Daniel. Can I pass that? Yeah, you've already. He must have run some of these off twice. Aloha. I recently found your channel here and love the information. Thank you. This is Mike. and the health you are spreading. And just started to read your book. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it from the heart, man. How about doing a video on the UCC? Oh, you guys are tempting me in ways. Oh, would I love to do a video on the UCC. I wonder if we're done. Okay.
Make sure you're,
Yeah, I will. She beats me up all the time. It's horrible. But I wonder if a lot of these cops know the difference between UCC and the statutes at large, and just what the UCC really is. I played with the UCC for a while. Got some people in trouble. But anytime you find out truth, just get a Black's Law dictionary and look up UCC for yourselves, and you'll see what the UCC is. It's a Uniform Commercial Code. It started, I guess, in Britain or Europe, and we decided to use Britain's law to run our country. So that's why they can give you a ticket for something that's obviously a violation of your space or force you into different. These are codes. When someone says this is a code, you mean it's color of law. It's not law. It's a code we decided you should live by, and if you don't, we're going to find your butt. That's not true law. In fact, matter of fact, it's a color of law. There's really nothing to instigate the UCC to make it law, but we like to use those terms, and cops doing stuff to freak you out and scare you and stuff, and have power over you and stuff. I will have to say that if you read the definition, basically it's saying that we decided as a society we have to have certain laws that are not constitutional. That helps everybody run everything. So we're going to make it a privilege for you to drive on the highways. We're going to make you go get a license for that. Well, a license means it's a privilege. And so when they require a license for whatever you do, they're telling you it's a privilege for you to practice naturopathy or to practice allopathy or to practice chiropractics or whatever, or a beauty salon. It's a privilege for you to do. We're going to give you a license. We're going to grant you the privilege. Well, that's more under the UCC. The problem comes in with is contraindicative to the Constitution. You're born in one of the 50 states in this country, then it is your right, not your privilege. It's your right. I agree that you must prove that you're adequate because you are involved in so many other people's lives driving on the highway. I have to admit that when you interface with other worlds, then you have to act accordingly. Some people don't respect other people's worlds. And so there's a problem there, but our society doesn't teach that. It just gets these codes and laws and just, basically you do or you go to jail or whatever or fined. We're cold. We have gotten so cold, but then we do wear ties. Ties and suits are the most constipated look I've ever seen on anybody. I feel sorry for men that have to sit there and wear suits and ties all day long. Put a robe on or put something that's free on. Don't sit there like you're constipated and you look pretty for something because you look like you're constipated and got a noose around your neck. I feel sorry for men that have to sit there and wear suits and ties all day long. Put a robe on or put something that's free on. Don't sit there like you're constipated and you look pretty for something because you look like you're constipated and got a noose around your neck. Sorry about that. But when you bring up the UCC, it really is... it's important, I guess, for you all to know the laws and codes and what isn't law and what, but just get you in trouble. If you become a follower, then you're okay. As long as you take the right when they tell you to take a right, and you take a left when they tell you to take a left, and poop when they tell you to poop, you're okay. Good question, though, man. She's saying I'm going to have to wrap this up, and I tell you, what I'm finding out is that your questions take me a time to answer each one of them. Can't answer each one of these real quick, so it does keep pulling me farther and farther behind. I'm in a meeting these last 3 days, so I'm going to take a couple of hours after tomorrow and catch up here on all your questions and stuff, because I really appreciate them, and I think it's important. Balance, beauty, blood. I'm so happy to be in. Oh yeah, things could be so much better for. Couldn't it be? You know, it's just like the deity that handles the duality of creation is must gotten out of balance itself. Danielle, yeah, getting deeper layers of the skin, stinky onion. Good points. Oh, my God, like tracing back. Excuse me, like tracing back the delusions of the mask of personality, fears to the core of fears of infancy, of pain and death, and then going back to remember past lives too. That's all in the scheme of things, my dear. Because if not, you're just hanging out in the now. So, you know what? We hang out in the now, but hey, let's go have some fun. Let's go kick up some matter. And all the family karma, memories, and rares. I love it, Daniel. And all the family, yes. Connecting to all our relationships, the flora and the fauna, from birds and bees to the mighty blue whale. 400 years ago, there were 100 times more birds. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. Man is on a killing spree, honey. Sit down as the hunters from some land far away come to hunt and kill the species on the planet, including the humans. Good take. Ooh, what's this? Cheesy stir for... What is that? Cheese fries! No, that doesn't... I gotta go. I can read these things all day. You guys keep me up going. Hi, JG. Goose Moose. I'm not sure I understand what your horse's problem is. Your comment was coded in rhyme. The world of rhyme and reason. Well, it certainly has been a pleasure. I'm going to have to cut this one off. I'll get back to these as soon as I can. Like I said, I'm in some important meetings for the next few days, a couple of them anyway, so I'm doing my best to get to this. But I certainly want this week to catch up. I don't want to happen what's happened before, which is a stack over here. But keep them going, lovely ones, and I appreciate it. Keep the humor up. Love it. It's the only way you can get through this sometimes is you got to laugh at the insanity that's out there. And so keep it up. Love you all. Appreciate that. Appreciate the comment on John Keim. Good old friend. All righty, we'll see you all later as soon as I can. You have a wonderful day. We'll see you.